Remembering Vida Blue. In 1969, when this speaker was 12 years old, there burst onto the scene, as it goes, a pitcher for the Oakland A's named Vida Blue, which I understand from looking at poetics, the name Vida Blue is a molossus. Bum, bum, bum. 3 syllables all stressed. Bum, bum, bum. Vida Blue. What a name. Vida. What man is named Vida? I've never heard of one. And it's a very rare name for a woman. It means life. Vida Blue. The earth is the blue planet. But why was he called Vida Blue? I didn't understand at the time, but I remember thinking, what a name. What a name for an athletic hero. Some guys have it, right? Darryl Strawberry, Bobby Valentine. Some people have these names, that are just special. And Vida Blue was one. But the first thing that struck you was the visual, because Vida Blue was very powerfully built, a little bit like a football player. He could have been a linebacker. A lot of pitchers are not as athletic as that, right? It wasn't just the muscles, it was how well hewed they were. And his skin was as black as that of a Yoruba tribesman. But his uniform, the Oakland uniform, because Charles Finley, the owner, was, always thinking about marketing capers, the uniform was apple green with canary yellow and bright white and white shoes. So between Vida's magnificent physique and his black skin and his green and yellow and white uniform, the image was even more powerful than, say, Usain Bolt, who wore the colors of Jamaica, but it wasn't as brilliant a plumage. So this was quite an exotic bird. And when he started to pitch, he would coil magnificently. The leg kick was so high. I remember him almost kicking himself in the chin. And he would coil and hide the ball and collect himself, and then he would explode toward the plate. It wasn't scary for the hitter like Randy Johnson or Goose Gossage, who seemed a little bit out of control and capable of doing some harm. It was contained and technical, but very, very impressive, a real rush. Now, I was a Met fan, but everybody loved Vida Blue. And 300 strikeouts as a rookie. And I remember we all came to the All-Star game, and there was an anticipation of how he would mow him down the way eventually Doc Gooden was to mow him down as a rookie in the All-Star game. But that didn't happen because Vida Blue pitched to Johnny Bench, the great Cincinnati catcher who hit over 400 home runs, I think. Must check. And Vida threw a letter high fastball, and Johnny turned on it, and it went to center field, and it never landed. I only learned in the obituary that Vida's career was damaged by a dispute he had with Charles Finley over money. Apparently, Finley was not honorable about money, and he nickel and dimed Blue, who was greatly offended because he was so much responsible for a lot of their success, both on the field and at the cash register, and yet Finley didn't acknowledge that. So eventually, it affected his career, but that doesn't matter. What matters about Blue is how he arrived and how exciting it was for all of us. One of the truly great rookie arrivals in baseball history. You want to talk about Fred Lynn, or you want to talk about Fernando Valenzuela, or maybe Tatis is like that. I'm not really following baseball so closely, but this was something else. And I'll always carry with me a pleasure of thinking of Vida Blue on the mound, getting ready to pitch, and then going into his windup, and then seeing the results. Rest in peace, Vida Blue.